Aloha, everybody. So, as usual, before we get to the word, if you can please hit the thumbs up, like this video, hit the bell, subscribe to Foreman Ministry so we can share the word with as many people as possible. It's only 4 minutes. So let's give God his time. Let's give God his glory. Let's give God his due because it's all about Jesus anyway. So this week, the Lord has been speaking to me about omnipresent or omnipresence. And this is a fancy word for being all places at all times. And from Webster's 1828, omnipresent is present in all places at the same time. There's also a fancy word that means infinite. So he is infinite. This is, it says in the definition as the omnipresent Jehovah. So God is present everywhere at all times. And I want to read from Hebrews 13:5. This is out of New King James. I'm sure a lot of us have heard this before, but let's read it again, get it on the inside. Let your conduct be without covetousness. Be content with such things as you have. For he himself has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Now here's the thing. God is all places at all times. We also have a part to play in this, though, of how close we want God to be in our lives. He is omnipresent, yes. How close are we walking with him in his omnipresence? So I'll give you guys an example that happened to me actually yesterday. I was asking the Lord about what hike I should go on, and I wanted my last hike for the couple weeks that I'm taking a trip to see my family to be Pu'uvawa'a, the Cinder, because it's a great hike. It's difficult. It's fun. There's some great views at the top. And I wanted to do that one. But I always ask the Lord. I've been practicing this for the last couple years, asking the Lord of where he wants me to go before I go there. So I asked him, can I go? He said, you can go. And he's been doing this. He's been saying this for the last year or so. It was like, you can go. Because technically, we can do whatever we want. We have the power of free will. But then I asked him, will you be with me? And he said no. Most of the time he says yes. This time he said no. So I asked him, where should I go then? And he said up Koloko. Now, I've hiked up Koloko so many times, but it doesn't matter. To me, the most important thing is that God is going to be with me and that he's going to be close enough to me that I will hear him and be in his presence. And he did. He spoke to me. We had a great time. We had a great hike out in nature. You know, he's showing me all kinds of cool stuff. And that's most important to my walk with Jesus, is being as close to him as possible. So yes, he would have been at Pu'uvawa'a. He would have been at the Cinder. That's totally fine. But my part is the obedience part, is to go where God is going to meet me and be as close as possible. Because I don't know about you guys, but I want to be as close to Jesus as possible. Even if he is omnipresent, I want to be right next to him in his presence, getting a revelation of who he is and knowing his truth and his ways. And I would encourage you guys to read Psalm 139. Some of my favorite scriptures are from that psalm. In verse 7, David says, where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? So again, God is all places at all times. We do have a part to play, though. Our part is obedience, because God cannot be close to us when we're sinning. Sinning is disobedience, is disobeying God, and that separates us from God. And we want to be as close to God as possible, because that's where blessings flow. That's where miracles happen. That's where the presence of God is, and we can just sit and be with him, because he is the coolest guy to hang out with and be with. So I would encourage you, spend some time asking God where he's going to be and meet him there, because he's going to show you some really cool things. And it's amazing when God speaks and when he's right there next to us. Praise God. Love you with the Jesus love.